Evolution and History of Connected Cars, a technical presentation by David Laughton. My capstone project is mainly focused around traffic simulation. The full name of my project is SIDSI, Traffic Simulation and Programming in Visual Internet of Things Robotics Programming Environment. In this presentation, we have to understand where we came from, where we are, and where we're going to understand where the future of autonomous vehicles are going. Just to get some housekeeping out of the way, we're going to go over some definitions. The first one is connected vehicle, or CV. It's the exchange of anonymous vehicle-based data regarding position, speed, and location. The second definition is a vehicle to X, referring to communications to various objects such as city infrastructure or other cars around it, enabling a vehicle to detect threats, hazards, and other road conditions. So V2I would be to vehicle to infrastructure, and V2V would be vehicle to other vehicles. I will first start off with the past of vehicles in general. It is widely accepted that the first widely available vehicle was the Model T, first unveiled in 1908. 88 years later, in 1996, the first connected vehicle was introduced to the mass public. The companies to introduce this was General Motors in partnership with Motorola. The product they unveiled was OnStar. As the years progressed, more improvements were made to the connected vehicles. One such improvement was the GPS. GPS has been around earlier than OnStar, but those versions were not connected. Those earlier versions of GPS involved cassette tapes and CDs, where they only mapped out specific regions of certain cities, and they were not cheap. Later on, when technology became more viable, connected cars started integrating LTE and fast high-speed internet. Moving along into the present, since 2010, most connected vehicles have a head unit in the dashboard used for various reasons, such as infotainment, safety, and navigation. On the infotainment side of connected vehicles, there are lots of functionalities to them, such as music, voice controls, Bluetooth that can connect to smartphones to make phone calls. The most recent versions of infotainment systems have video games to be played and video streaming services to watch, such as Netflix, YouTube, and Twitch. The head unit in connected vehicles today are not all just fun and games, there's also safety involved. Some safety features include roadside assistance, such as OnStar. There's also collision warnings to help drivers and other people around them be safe. The last feature I'm going to mention is navigation. Some connected vehicles have built-in navigation, such as GPS, while others rely on smartphone integration to do the heavy lifting. In the more advanced versions of these navigation systems, they offer real-time traffic from satellite feeds. Aside from what is visible to the driver, connected vehicles have computers in them. They are collecting data and making calculations for the benefit of the driver and the safety of others. Moving along to the more speculative side, the future. In the future, the systems for vehicle-to-vehicle and vehicle-to-interface will be more fleshed out, meaning that vehicles will be able to communicate to each other, and vehicles will be able to communicate to the infrastructure around them, such as traffic lights, stoplights, and other roadside conditions. Once all these systems are communicating together, the hope is to get to the point where vehicles will be able to drive themselves without much interaction, or at all, from the human passengers that they drive around. Thank you for listening to my technical presentation. Attached are some references that I used to gather my information and graphics. Thank you again.